Now this video is specifically going to show you why your ad is not working and then give you a solution to fix the ad so that you can literally have it set up so that you can turn it on and off at will, because your schedule will get filled up. Now that seems like a big promise, but I'm telling you, this happens over and over again when you get it dialed in and you have the right systems in place. Hey business owner, why are your Facebook ads not working? Why are you spending so much money on ads? And it doesn't matter if it's Facebook, YouTube, Google, billboards, newspaper, it doesn't matter. Why are you spending so much money, literally wasting money on advertising? Many business owners advertise because, well, you're in business, so you should advertise. And maybe you hire an advertising agency who knows the technical side of advertising, placing an ad on Facebook or placing an ad on YouTube. But they don't know the psychographics and the demographics, and they don't know how to do proper messaging. They don't know how to figure out your market dominating position, and they don't know the conversion equation. So what you're looking at here on the screen is a visualization of the average ad that my team and I see out there, and the reason why this isn't working. Now this video is specifically going to show you why your ad is not working and then give you a solution to fix the ad so that you can literally have it set up so that you can turn it on and off at will, because your schedule will get filled up. Now that seems like a big promise, but I'm telling you, this happens over and over again when you get it dialed in and you have the right systems in place. So let me break this one down here for you. You're placing a Facebook ad or any other kind of ad. And in this case, we're looking at this ad and we see that we basically have 300 monthly visitors to this ad that see the ad, they visit the ad, and then you've got the clicks, and on average, the cost per click on Facebook is about 1.68. Now it could be more, it could be $2, it could be $5, heck, it could be even more depending on the industry you're in and how competitive it is. So we'll come back to this later. But people see the ad, they either scroll past it or they stop long enough, 3 seconds, for you to get charged for the view of the ad, and then they click on the ad if you're doing views or if you're doing cost per click. So let's say they click on the ad. Then they go from an ad that has a specific type of content. It has a specific message for that industry. Many times it's just general. And many people, they get confused right here, so they don't click on it. But maybe it does say something that, hey, I want that service. I've been looking for this, or I never thought about it. Maybe I do want that. And they click on it. Then in most cases, the ad is going to your website. You should never send paid traffic to your website. I don't care what anybody else has ever told you. I know your website's beautiful. You probably spend a lot of time and money on it, but it's not there to show off. It's there to show that you're actually in business. Most websites are not set up to actually sell your product. I'll show you what will in just a minute. So they come there and they look at the ad, they click on it, they go to the website, and they don't see the exact service. They have to search through the website to see exactly what they were looking for when they clicked on the ad. So what happens? About 3% of the people that will visit your website are what we refer to as now buyers. Anywhere from 2 to 3% are now buyers. Those are people that absolutely need or want your service right at this point in time. Just chipped a tooth, they need dental work. So they're looking for a dentist, they go to the one, they don't have time to search through a lot of things. They're gonna go to the one that's either closest to them or the first one that they find online, and they're gonna call them up and make an appointment, especially if they can get in right away. That's an example of a now buyer. Somebody who just blew out their tires, somebody sliced their tires or something. They need new tires so they can get to work in the morning. They're gonna call the first mechanic that can come pick up their vehicle, get it down there, and get the tires put on. That's a now buyer. Others, they're just looking for information. 97% of the people that look at your ad are really just looking for information. Hell, half the time, they didn't even know they were looking for the service. They were literally just scrolling through Facebook or YouTube or something like that, came across the service and goes, oh, that's cool. Let me check that out. So now they're in kind of prospecting mode and they're looking for the information. They're looking for the best vendor for that service. So most people are down here in the confused visitor area. And you notice that's where they go. They go down here to die. They don't go there there's no way for them to get back in contact with you other than them searching you up. But more importantly, there's no way for you to get back in contact with them. They were initially interested, but then they got confused and went away. A confused mind will never make a decision. They will almost always go away. So then, continuing on with those 3%, let's say that they do go ahead and find your sales page for the service that they want, and they go ahead and purchase. And then they come over here to the thank you page. Congratulations, you made a sale. Let's go ahead and run this scenario and see how much you earned. Now, in this scenario, I want to point out that we have a product. In this case, the product is firearms instructor training, maybe classroom training or range training. So we've got the product over here. Let me come up here and show you what the product is. And the product in this case, I said the product is worth $800. Many of these services in this particular case, now think about your service and plug in your product price here. This product price, many of the services that I've found are about $500, anywhere from $350 to $500. I put $800 because sometimes they might buy other products. They might buy a holster. They might even buy some other products that they need, or they might bring a friend or a spouse or something like that. So, or they might even come back for another part of the program. But that's about it. Most businesses aren't set up so that they can actually retain a client. We'll talk more about that later. But I put $800 because this is kind of price and a half for this particular industry. And I get it, firearms instructors, all of you charge differently, and this may not be your specific scenario, but I'm just using this as an example. Now, I'm also saying that we got 1% refund. Everybody gets refunds. But I'm saying that the cost per product is $200 in this case because many firearms instructors, in this case, they have to rent the range. They don't own the range. They got to rent the space. They got ammunition they got to buy. They got costs that they got to do for cleaning the weapons, time, and all that kind of stuff. And there's other expenses in there. So I put $200, maybe not be completely accurate, but that's what we have here today. So with that, what that gives us is, it gives us a total on this particular scenario. We come down here and we break it down. The traffic cost is about $504 because remember it was $1.68 per click, and we're talking about 300 clicks. We got merchant fees for your credit card merchant. Those vary as well. We got product cost, which is $800. Refunds, $32. We got $32 in there. And then we've got a total of $1,430. And here's how it breaks down. Cost per acquisition for client acquisition, $126 to gain that one client. In this case, we've got 4 clients. 4 out of 5 clients went ahead and completed the order. Then we've got the return on ad spend, which is $6.38. And we got revenue, $3,200, and profit. Here's your profit, $1,770 on this 300. So what could we do here? How could we improve this? Well, we could spend more money. We could go ahead and try to get more people in here. So let's say that we come over here to the Facebook ad, and let's say we get 800. We spend more money, right, so that more people can see it, and we get 800. Another thing that we can do here to get more monthly visitors is we can improve the message. We can improve the ad. So don't forget about that. And that's one of the things that my team and I specialize in, is improving the ad so that it gets the attention of the right people. And you're not getting clicks from people who aren't the right customers. That costs you money. A lot of people don't think about that. But we can improve the message and we can spend more money. Either way, let's say we do both. We greatly improve the message. That shouldn't cost any more, other than you're going to get more clicks, but it's going to be better because you're going to be more specific. And then we spend a little bit more money. So let's save that. And that's all we've done, is we've just improved the message and maybe spent a little bit more money to get the ad out there for a little bit longer. So let's simulate this and see what happens. See the numbers changing here, and we went from 300 to 800, and now we've got a profit of 4,910. All right, but we're still losing right? You got 24 people over here, but you're still losing 776 people that are coming down here and getting lost. They originally said that they want the service, but you're losing these people. How can we capture these people and continuously market to them and get different messages to them to let them know that you are who they want to do business with? They've already decided that they are interested in the service by clicking on the ad, but then they came here and got confused and went away. So let's try to reduce this confusion and see what we can do over here. Let's go to scenario 2. Now here's scenario 2. And this may look very confusing, but don't worry about that. This isn't something that you have to set up. This is something that somebody else should get set up for you so that you can do what you do best. And we already have much of this set up for you, and we have these things in place. But let me break this down for you. We still got this Facebook ad over here, and we still got the same numbers that we had before originally, 300 visitors, and still the same cost per click, okay? And instead of them this time going to the website, they're going to what we call a squeeze page with a specific message based on the message that we put in the ad. Now keep in mind, this advertisement, in this case is Facebook, but it could be YouTube, it could be Google, it could be TikTok, whatever it is, but the message in the ad has to make sense for the squeeze page. It has to build on that. So this is just enough to get their attention, and then to promise more information. Then they come to this squeeze page, and all the squeeze page is just one page. It's one website. There's no other buttons on it. All they can do is read through the rest of the information and then put their name and email address and their phone number in there so that they can get more information. That's all they're looking for at this point. They are not looking to go from here straight over to here and get sold something. They're looking for information. That's why they get confused when they go from here to the website, because there's too much other information, and then they have to go look for it, and they can't get the information they're looking for, so they're very rarely going to make the purchase. So here we give them more information, and then we promise them yet more information, and to send them information that they need to make their decision-making, help them in their decision-making process. And by doing this, we capture their information, and they go through an email sequence. And by the way, not just an email sequence, but also a text message sequence. Emails are about 7% open rate industry-wide, about 7%. Every once in a while, you'll get some that can get up to 12%. Text messages are 90% open rate. And all the text message is going to do is say, hey, we just sent you an email on the information you asked for. Go check your email. Or there will be a link in the text message as well where they can go watch a video or something like that. But I don't have it depicted here, but we could very easily have text messages in here as well. What this does is it allows them to get more information. And along each one of these steps, we have different open rates. We have an open rate of 60%, which is quite frankly very high. But if it's something that they just requested, then it's going to go to a thank you page and say, hey, thank you for requesting that. Go check your email. We just sent you the information. So they're going to go check their email. So the open rate should be pretty high on this one. And then they're going to have a click-through rate of 5%, which means they clicked through to go purchase the product. And then we'll have an unsubscribe rate. There's always unsubscribes and stuff like that. So here you can see they read the email, then they go make the purchase. Then 3 days later, they get another email because they forgot to open this first one. There's a certain click-through rate. They go read the message, and they go make the purchase. A certain percent won't, so they go keep going. Now, what about, this is 60% that will provide their name and information to get the email series, to get more information. Others will not. We don't want to lose them either. Let's say it's 40%. We're going to do a retargeting ad, and we're going to retarget them, and they're going to get a different ad than what they first saw up here. It's going to be about the same, but it's going to be worded a little bit different with different images or maybe a different video. They're going to see that it makes sense. They're going to see the branding. It's going to be the same type of service, but they're going to see it again on Facebook. They're going to see it on Instagram. They might even see it on Google right? You ever seen whenever you go search for something on Amazon, you start seeing that product over and over again, or you click on something and you see that product over and over again? That's what we're going to do. We're going to put it back in front of them because they already raised their hand and said, I'm interested in that service, so that we're just going to remind them that they want that service. They're going to see a different squeeze page and maybe even go back to the same squeeze page, but really it's just going to be a different ad that's going to go back to the same squeeze page, and then give them the opportunity to go back through this process again. Okay? So, and then we're going to retarget again, right? And we're going to keep doing that. Here, we spent the same amount of money, right? And we got the same product. The same product is over here that's $800, all broken down exactly the same. We've got the same original 300 visitors. But now let's simulate this and see what happens. Just this. We didn't increase like we did with the other one, the 800 additional visits. See how it breaks down? Got a total of $10,000. Look at the breakdown here. You can pause and look that over for the sake of time. And now we got, instead of, what was the other one? Just over $1,000 in profit. Now over the course of time, because of this same ad, right, and allowing these people to be nurtured and to capture the ones that we lost before, we got a $6,000 monthly profit. Now what happens if we go in here and we go ahead and increase this to 800 and see what happens? Rather, we improve the message, which by this point, working with us, your message is already going to be much better. But let's say that we improve it and we maybe even put a little bit more money to it. Now let's simulate this and see what happens. See the numbers popping up there? That gets exciting, doesn't it? So now we got $18,000 coming from this scenario over here in scenario 1 to this, and having all this set up properly. And oh, by the way, one other thing I want to point out over here that isn't even being calculated just yet is that this is a 2-step order form. What this 2-step order form does is when somebody goes in and let's say 90% of them go ahead and they put their name and email address in there, and then they click next, and they have the opportunity to put in their credit card information to make the purchase. Let's say 10% don't do that. Sometimes it's higher. But those 10%, they don't just get lost. We know that they filled out the form but didn't complete the order. So we start sending them a different series of emails and saying, hey, and we send them a text message and say, hey, we noticed that you started your order. What can we help you with? What happened? Where did you go? I hope nothing tragic happened, right? And we send them different emails and text messages and bringing them back so that they can come back and complete their order. Now, one other thing that we can do here, I want to share with you real quick, just something to think about, is coming over here and looking at the cost of goods sold. You see right here, it says the product costs $7,000. Now, as I stated, this number on the product might be a little bit skewed because this was let's say for instance, you have a group of people that come in this scenario as a firearms instructor, and you only have to pay a fee for you to rent the property or rent the range. You don't have to pay per person. Let's say you've got 10 people that are on the range at any given time. Well, you don't have to pay $200 or $100 or whatever it is per person in many cases, and your cost may be a little bit lower. So let's say that we reduce the cost by just $100, and we're going to say it's basically the way this is set up. It's per person, per purchase, but we'll just reduce it by $100. And in fact, you know what? Let's not even do that. Let's just reduce it by $25. So let's put $275 here, or excuse me, $175 here. We'll just reduce it by $25, reducing costs and overhead. And then we run the scenario again. Now look, the product cost is $7,200, and look at the revenue. But now let's simulate this with the new number. And now product cost dropped to $6,300, and we've got an increased profit. That's just one of the things. So once we get in here and we can start plugging in your actual numbers, we can make this a more accurate process. And by the way, this is a firearms instruction example. We can do this with any service-based business. We just like to work with the firearms instruction industry for various reasons. But run the scenario and take it, look at it, look at your decision makers, make a comment below this video and get in contact with us. There will be a link down there for you to go ahead and check out our site and how to get in contact with us and schedule an appointment with us. We'll just talk for about 15 minutes, see if you're a good candidate, and then we'll decide if we want to move forward from there. All right, take care. I wish you the best. Thank you for what you do as a small business owner.